Gotta put my work shoes on. And then we say hello to the cat. What you doing? Oh, I see. Something's happening. Alrighty, guys. Fun and games aside, so I've got here the pots printed, cleaned in isopropyl alcohol, and I'm just letting it sit in front of the heater for a bit so that it dries out a bit better. And here we have some other pots to prime. Yes, I'm wearing mismatched gloves because I only had one more pair of these and I opened a new box for these ones. And I like this one. This one actually fits a lot better. But anyhow, we've got lots of goodies. We've got the thing that we're going to be printing and priming from the tank. And I mixed it up a bit with all sorts of other stuff. And this is a KDM special project. Now, Cal usually does all the priming and anything to do with the airbrush. I do know how to use the airbrush. Cal has taught me how to do it before. I'm just not very confident when it comes to Zenithal priming, but I can definitely prime these up. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do something by myself for once. Oh, okay, yes. Destroy everything. Yep, that's part of a Sunny vlog. So this is kind of our setup when it comes to airbrushing and stuff, and forgive the mess, it is an outdoor table, but I don't really have like a proper way to film out here. I've always wanted to do the, I'll show you guys. Always wanted to have this thing, but outside. Well, we'll figure something out. Right, got the stuff here. Time to fill up the airbrush. I'm such a dumbass. Look at this. Completely forgot to take out the stopper. Well, you know, that's kind of the part of being a hobby vlog. Oh my goodness, that's pretty thin. What the heck is this? Did I take the wrong thing? I probably did take the wrong thing, of course. Okay, I got some real surfacer black down. Now we can start filming. I think part of what makes Trent's videos really endearing is that he sort of talks through his process a lot and his fears, right? His hobby fears and everything. And I think some of the thoughts that I come across, I'm putting in about 50% because that's the recipe that Cal always taught me. 50% thinner, 50% primer. But yeah, like, look, yeah, there we go. I think when I used to watch the videos, I liked it because I liked watching his personality. A lot of the times when he talked about his fears, it seemed a bit trivial to me because I'm just like, these just seem like really basic things. But people have these fears. That's what we talk about all the time with WAYPN. You know, that's why works in progresses are so important, because you're constantly seeing how people, yeah, that looks good. Okay. How people stop themselves from getting anything done because they're too scared. Should probably move that out of the way. This is new for me too, because I never done it like this before, you know. I've always filmed my process on the side and then patched it together. But I guess this is what people like, isn't it? To be able to see how everyone makes mistakes. How everyone's just sort of sometimes just doing the wrong things. But sometimes doing the wrong thing is what gets you to do the right thing. Because you just need to get started. Like, for example, with this priming session, I bet Cal would tell me, you should put it on a holder or something. And he's probably right. But I don't want to stop myself from getting stuff done with my hobby. So I'm just gonna go for it. That's one little piece done. Will you look at the tiny piece? I like to check through to make sure I've covered everything. A lot of times it's so easy to miss the spot. And I think something to talk about that's good right now is how a lot of the times people will get really afraid of using an airbrush. But see, that's why I'm doing it, because I am afraid of the airbrush myself, even though I know it's an excellent tool, right? But this is such a great way to get over the fear. I mean, I guess to really get over my fear is that I should be zenithal priming this thing right here. But I don't do that because I'm too scared. But I'm just trying to at least get practice in with the primer. It does feel like there's a lot of air coming out, more so than I would like. But I'm just gonna keep going with it and see where we go. Because I think the thing to acknowledge with the hobby when it comes to whips as well is to be able to do something, anything, right? Anything to get the foot through the door. Eventually, I'd like to be able to paint with an airbrush. Like, I don't mean priming and zenithal priming. I mean like how some of the really good artists do it on YouTube, where they sort of do a little bit of airbrush with brushwork. I'd love to be able to do that. The thing is, I'm not sure if I've used too much or not, but I just want to make sure that it's all fully covered. Because things crack real easy with resin. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. So, I think we'll set that aside. I want to try one of these. Because it's pretty. Doesn't that look real nice? Oh, I really like that. Okay. Let's keep going. I think I'm starting to get a little bit more confident with things. Getting a bit of the hang of things. You know, it's all about momentum. And I think that's something that whips do really well. Sorry, there's a lot of flies out here. There he is. It's a really big fly, too. I got him. I got the fly, by the way. I feel very proud of myself. You know, that's part of the progress. Killing flies and taking names. You know? Because there's always some darned obstacle in the way of getting things done with your hobby. Like flies and midgies. But we're still going through it. We're still going through it, man. That looks pretty good. You know, when I was doing a lot of oopsies, and I used to do art all the time after college because I majored in illustration and graphic design. I wanted to sort of strike out on my own and do my own art business sort of thing. And, you know, of course I was looking on Instagram and following a lot of artists and, you know, how do I do this? How do I become an art seller person? How do I get myself out there? Of course, Instagram was the place to go. And with Instagram, because everything's all about curation, I used to see all these really great, like, whips and stuff. And even with hobby, now that I'm following some hobby artists myself, their whips always look so perfect. And when I was starting out with the illustration stuff, I used to think of it like, okay, it's part of the gig, it's part of the job, it's a trend to show the whips. But until I joined WAYPN, or like when Cal told me about what WAYPN was like when he first ran it on the very first forum, that was not his own thing. It was someone else's website that he was helping run. And how the whole site crashed because everybody was coming on there to get their stuff reviewed, putting up their works in progress. I thought to myself, I like that. I want to do that. I want to do that. And then once I started doing my own hobby stuff, it started out with the Dungeons and Lasers project. I was posting everything to the point that I was even posting about how I learned how to dry brush again, because like dry brushing is not a new concept to me. It's something I've always like. it's something I've done in 2D art, right? It's something I've definitely done before. But when I wasn't getting it right with hobby, I was like, why am I not getting this? And then I started experimenting on my own, and I was learning lessons on my own, and of course, Cal was right, I was being too aggressive. But me figuring that out, and then like going onto Facebook and telling every man and his dog about how I've discovered how to dry brush well. that was fun for me. You know? I liked that. For some reason, all of a sudden, all I wanted to do was continuously show my progress on what I have done. And I particularly enjoyed doing that with the Thunderhawk project because it's very difficult to do freehand. Like I know like everyone sees my freehand, and like Cal tells me, oh, you know, freehand's really difficult. The fact that you can do it is like a huge deal. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But I also came from an art background, right? So I hold myself to a particular standard, and I take a look at some of these artists. Oh man, I was taking a look at the Warlord Titans because I'm learning so much from the Thunderhawk project. I'm like, okay, we know that this happened, this thing didn't work out so well, and I was actually looking on Temu because I wanted to find a hobby tool that would make filing all those warped bits easier on the Thunderhawk. But I hesitated on buying the tool. I've made a little bit short on that, actually. I think now I'm not going to regret that decision, because when the Warlord Titan comes, I think that tool is going to help me out a lot. But other than that, I'm thinking about how could we have done things differently? You know, when we were assembling the Thunderhawk, every part was mislabeled. And aside from the fact that every part was mislabeled, let me take a look. It's empty. Got a refill. Yeah, so I'm kind of derailing, I understand. But basically, I'm learning a lot of things from the Thunderhawk that I'm excited to apply on the Warlord Titan when it eventually comes, right? And I was taking a look now at references because I felt that I didn't do my due diligence a bit sooner with... Thank you, Cockatoo. Anyway, I felt like I could have done more in terms of the research part on different references that I could have looked up. These are lessons that I'm now going to apply on the new project. And as I'm looking at it, I found this artwork called The Sistine of Sisters or something like that. And it was a Warlord Titan 100% made of only freehand art. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, how am I meant to compete with that? Because that is something. That is art. That is worthy of admiration. Yes, that's the word. Worthy of admiration. Like, I like my dream chicken as much as the next fella. And you know, when I showed it off, we were talking about it at the hobby store. Our friends at the hobby store were saying, you should turn that into a meme, the dream chicken meme. But aside from that, I'm just thinking to myself, that's the part I love the most, is coming up with the concept. I want to come up with the concept and be like, show people, this is my thinking, and this is how I've brought this vision to life, you know? And that's the part of the WIP that I enjoy the most, the journey of figuring out the chaos and building it into something that is, you know, cohesive and ordered. But then again, I think that's a very ladies-centric thing to do. You know, us ladies, we love to organize. We love to take the chaos and do something with it and order it and say, like, look at the thing I have done, you know? But I think that's not exclusively a ladies thing, right? I think guys like that too. And I think that's what this hobby is. Like, you got all these little things that drive you nuts, right? And then you put it together, and that's your achievement. I'm like, look at this thing that I've made. But you can't really truly appreciate that journey unless you've seen it. And I think that's what Trent was trying to do with his hobby vlog, you know? And I mean, I'm liking it. I'm just sitting here talking to myself while I waste primer, no doubt, because I'm so bad at this. I'm really bad at it because I can't quite figure out how much control I need, if I'm wasting too much primer. I don't know. I'm just here, and I'm just trying, and I'm just gonna roll with it. You know, I'm just gonna do what my fingers tell me feel right. Like, I'm a very intuitive person in general, so I'm just gonna feel my way around this. Come on. There we go. Well, looks like this one didn't complete printing, but I think that's fine. It'll add to the story. Like, gone through some damage, hit into something really tough, and then the spikes popped off or something. Alright, so here it is all done. So now it is time for our introspection time to figure out exactly what did we learn from this experience. One is that I actually really like filming this sort of stuff. I can see why Trent likes doing the hobby vlog thing, and I like the whole casual thing. I think it's because I don't feel the pressure as much to be perfect with anything. I think I'm gonna convince Cal to try and do a similar thing for his pots. But lesson number 2 is that I was a bit dumb. Instead of priming all these tiny little bits, I should have probably assembled the tank and then prime everything together. But I guess I was so excited to just get started on something that I just decided I would do all this. But look, see, the technically, the tank still needs a little bit more cleaning. There's still some like sticky bits here and there, you know. Like, this guy's still drying, even though I dipped him in the isopropyl alcohol to really make sure that it's nice and clean. The back turned out great, but I'm not too sure whether these little indented parts, if they're still sticky or not, because I've put them in front of the heater and they're still not quite dry. You can see the little sheen from how wet it is. So there's a lot more work that's gonna have to go into cleanup alone before we start priming, or else the primer's not going to stick. I in fact found that with some of the pots that I was doing earlier. You can see a little bit of sheen, but listen, that's not going to be too much of a problem because all of this is going to be stuck onto the body of the limousine anyway. So it doesn't really matter too much if the back of it is sticky, as long as the front grille bolts aren't sticky, which it wasn't. So yay. But I just thought about all the extra work that's gonna have to go into just cleaning alone. I just was like, no thank you. I just want to do something. I just want to paint. I just want to get started. I was excited. And this was the cost of excitement, doing things the wrong order. Well, I guess that's kind of the whole point of whips, right? We make mistakes, especially when we're excited. We make a lot of dumb mistakes. But that's what we're dealing with right now. So let's continue on with this project. It's helping me.
Okay.
So we put it in the isopropyl alcohol in this ultrasonic cleaner, and here
we're gonna wipe it off.
Okay. Okay, so time to assemble. And I think I remember that Trent, he did it like that.
Yeah.
So this is to level the thing.
Yeah.
Put it on top. And then we're meant to do that.
But it doesn't look quite right.
Yeah, because it's like covering the window. So I think this is more how it's meant to look.
Yeah.
So Cal has come up with a brilliant idea of using one of these old sprues.
Well, two.
Yeah, two of these.
From the Thunderhawk.
From the Thunderhawk, and put that on. See if that's taller. And almost.
Alright, well, let's find something else then.
Okay, we got a bigger piece. I'll put it on. Okay, refocus you guys. Alright. Put her on. I think this is the front, yeah. Oh yeah. That's what we want. Okay, we'll go through and glue them up. I like that he added these little pockets for the barb thing to go in.
Yeah.
Cause
Did you put the super glue in already?
No, I'm just dry fitting it.
Ah, okay, because I saw it fall over and I'm like...
It's like, what is going on? But yeah, because I was thinking that, okay, isn't this supposed to go all the way? But it doesn't.
No.
Because it's just for the front and you can line it up with
Yeah.
the thing. And yeah, okay, we'll figure that out now. You know, I kind of have my sphincter tighten every time I put this in. Cause you know how it's annoying when you do the
Is that what the squealing noise is?
Yes, but it's the tank.
It's not the air compressor.
It's the air compressor. But you know how every time we put in a Forge World model or like a regular GW model, you're just like, okay, the dry fit, it did great. And then you put the glue, and then you're just
and then
everything goes wrong. Yeah, like there's no problem with this model. So like it really shows how well that, you know, Trent designed this thing. Like he's thought things through. He's always been an advocate for the hobbyist, isn't he? I mean, look at that. I mean, other than needing to sort of force that tail bit underneath there, like everything else just falls in line.
It just works.
It just works. Thank you, Todd Howard. All right, now we gotta figure out where to put all these other greebles.
Oh, you can figure that one out. Why'd you put this here?
Because I only had the one, and I thought that maybe it could be like little headlights.
I don't know where the other ones went.
I don't know either.
What have you done with
I don't know. Maybe I dropped it. I don't know. There's just, and I thought, okay, put headlights on it. Big stretch pusser. Around? Yes. Ooh, the big tail. Swishy tail. Ooh, kisses. Hello, Mr. Hades. And what are we doing today? We're being a lazy chum. Yeah, we're being a lazy chum. Yeah, lazy chum day. And now Cal, the airbrush professional,
it's just priming,
is taking over with the big job of helping me.
Well, I thought, like, when I saw all the filming that you'd done,
yeah,
I thought you did a pretty good job, except I guess out here, my system isn't really clear because one of those bottles that you grabbed, actually had paint in it because like I was trying to clean out the bottle so I could reuse the bottles for personal mixes.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I thought you were just trying to get like paint to stay at the bottom of the neck or something, and then later on I realized that you were just trying to clean it out.
Yeah.
Now that's looking good. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
So, do we want to do a steel undercoat and
Oh,
then
yeah.
do our sponging, or?
Oh yeah, we should do the spongy sponge. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, alright. So, why do we like this technique so much?
Because it's super realistic. So we will do the base of the steel, and then after it's dry, we take a sponge and we dip it in masking fluid, and then we sponge it on, and then we put like a brighter steel over top or any other color. And then once it's done, we sort of peel all the layers off of the masking fluid, and it looks like real peeled off chipped tape. And sometimes we even do
Paint.
yeah.
It's like chipped tape. What are we talking about?
I said paint. Did I not say paint?
I don't know.
Anyway, so then it looks like real chipped paint. And sometimes we even do a bit of dirty down, rust or verdigris, depending if it's steel or gold.
Yeah.
And that'll make it look like it's weathered and it's real nice.
So yeah, we just do this, and then after that, it's just.
I tell you what, he is a very sturdy little thing, isn't he?
He does look very sturdy.
I like him. All right, here we go. I got my masking fluid and a little bit of sponge, and we're gonna grab. Where's my little silver dishy thing? It's okay. We'll use a plastic container lid. And I do hope this works, because sometimes with the applicators, they get stuck. So let's see. Stuff coming out. We just open it up. Just a little dollop. A little dollop of masking fluid. And guess what I recently found out? That get this white spirit, it dissolves this stuff. So if you ever get any clogs, or if you made a mistake, or like sometimes you use a brush to apply masking fluid, just dip it in white spirit, it'll dissolve it, and you can clean things up that way, and you don't have to waste stuff. Hooray! Oh yes, okay. Oh no, wait, where is it? I get to show you the thing. Where is thing? La. It's a gem picker thing, okay? I forget whose video we watched, but you look. Oh man, okay, yes. We watched someone's video and they recommended this, and I went on Temu and I found it and I bought it. So now we just do little dabby dabs. Little dabs. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Oh, hey. Gotta do the underside. Woo. Underside will for sure have quite a bit of weathering from being slammed open. And is that how you come out of a tank? No, you come out of the tank on the top. Got too excited again, jeez. It's alright, okay, I think I'm happy with that. So now we're ready for the next stage, where we'll spray over another color or a brighter steel. We'll see what Cal has in mind for us.
So you stuck on all the stuff?
Yeah, I did.
Alright, well, I just got some angel blue, which I mixed with the primer so that we'd have like a sort of deep navy.
Right.
Because it's all about mixing colours, you know. You don't want to have to like go out and buy a colour every single time.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna.
And you said you do the rails in copper, right?
So not these ones, because they'll be too hard to separate. But down the front,
Yeah.
like along there, I'm thinking, yeah, I'll do that in copper.
That sounds fun.
So just a nice coat of this on all of it. And see, it'll be a good basis for the windows as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because like we can like have this stuff peeling and all that, right? But
I didn't put any masking fluid on the window, by the way.
yeah,
I would hope so.
And we'll see after this, I'm just going to do this in the copper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just do a little bit of true metallic metal on that. And you just do some dry brushing on this.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, once you tear off those little bits,
Yeah.
it'll look like something truly fantastical.
Woo!
Alright, let's get to it, shall we?
Yeah.
Now, on this side, I'm gonna go here and sort of do the sort of opposite.
That looks cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, but that's just the start.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go over the same areas as before, but just with a little less. So, didn't quite get the result that I was hoping for, but
I think it looks nice.
yeah, but we're going to have to black out those bits in there.
Yeah, and I've got an idea for that. I talked about a surprise, and this is it. The AK Real Colors markers, and I've been really liking using this, and especially the flat black. It's so smooth, and I'm just gonna use that on the in-between. If it doesn't work out, I'll just go back to using my usual Vallejo black paint and brush, but I thought it was a good excuse to show you guys this thing. So what are we doing now?
Just something real quick, because we wanna get this done. We want this to be done. We don't want this to, like, this doesn't have to be the greatest model of all time, because like, it's for us. It's not for a commission or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing some real quick dry brushing. But what I do think we want to do is I'll leave you alone to do the windows. And what I'll do is I'll just...
Should we do it black, like tinted?
No, I reckon we do it like that sort of blue that you do for the windows, you know, where you, like, there's a very sort of specific...
Oh yeah, I think I know the one that you're talking about. I'll have to look up some references on that.
But yeah, so now, alright, so we should...
I'm gonna bring your hand a little closer this way? Yeah.
Okay. Alright, but now we should have like some of the steel coming through, and so it naturally looks...
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
That looks good.
So, Sunny, how have you enjoyed this process?
I really liked it. Like, you were still sick at this time.
Yeah,
and
I was pretty sick as a dog,
and
actually.
we needed
I was
to get
still
out
a
this
little
video.
bit at the end, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go start priming because I know how to prime. And then I was like, we do the video and everything. And I knew that when we came down to the recording room and we started recording, I'll forget everything that I wanted to say. So I just started speaking to the camera and I was like, you know.
Yeah, I remember being in bed and I'm like, who
is she talking to?
Yeah,
Why
what
is
is
she talking to
Well,
herself?
I was more like, what's happening? Do I need to get up?
Yeah, and after I started going with it, and it's like it became a little bit like a Trent style video because this tank is by him, you know?
Yeah. And as I was watching it, I thought, there's a title in this. There's a title in what you're doing, and I feel like this vlog should be called Don't Be Afraid.
Oh, definitely. And I think this definitely captured it. But I went against my own words in the sense that I should have tried to do the true metallic spray instead of getting you to do it. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with this product.
Well, it's certainly something interesting. Is there anything you want to say to Trent?
I love his videos and I want to do more videos like this.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's time for us to close out and say what we always do.
Keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye.